Good morning, glowing, gorgeous women. Thank you for joining me on my live this morning, talking to you today about my childbirth journey and the crippling fear that I had to overcome in order to have a magical, positive, easy childbirth the second time around. Um, This is such an important topic that we need to start talking about with women more often, that you need to step into your feminine power, rise up, take control of yourself, and learn the skills and the techniques in how to have a calm, positive childbirth. You can do it. Uh, Talking about the fear that surrounds childbirth. Um, where does it come from? Where did it start? For myself, it started very, very young when I was 4 years old, 5 years old, as far back as I can remember. Um, Childbirth is portrayed in the media for a start as something medical, something to fear, something that is full of pain, and it's just traumatic. If you're a little girl, 5 years old, 6 years old, into your teens, and you see a birthing scene on television or in a movie, it's pretty darn traumatic. And I can always remember telling myself, I am never having babies. I am never having children. That just looks intense. I'm not up for it. I'm not doing it. So when I did actually fall pregnant, um, I had to come to terms with a lot of fear that had been rising and building up and conditioned and programming into us as women since we are little young children. Um, the moment I became pregnant, I just became a magnet for all of these women in my life, whether it was family, so my mother and aunts and grandmother, or women that I worked with, or women just anywhere. They would want to tell me about their birthing stories, and every single one of them was traumatic. It was full of fear, it was full of pain, it was in a hospital setting. They were made to feel like it was a medical procedure, and it was terrible. So for the first couple of months of my own first pregnancy, this is what I was surrounded with. And that fear just kept rising and building. All I could think about, every cell in my body and every thought was consumed with fear of how is it going to go for me? What's going to happen on my birthing day? What's labor going to feel like? How are the doctors and nurses going to treat me? It was crippling fear where some days I just thought, oh, I can't do this. I can't continue. I'm just going to book in for a scheduled cesarean. You know, that's becoming a very common thing in the Western world, just so you don't have to go through the labor, I guess, and all of the prodding and the poking and the what ifs and the apprehension. Um, there was a shift, there was a turning point for me where I started to feel a connection with my baby, with my bump, a beautiful baby bump growing inside. And something shifted in me because I felt the first movement, the first little kick, the first little nudge, and it hit me. It became real. I have a life growing inside of me. I am the protectorate of this little life. I have to do whatever I can to give this child the best start to life. And the way that I can do that is to bring that baby into the world in the most positive way, positive environment. So being very calm and positive around. the birthing scenario. And so I went out and I did all of the research, and I spent hours upon hours upon hours, every single moment that I had, in researching ways to birth positively. I got into hypnobirthing and positive affirmations, and that was great. And that worked until a point, and all of those techniques out there did help until I got to the hospital. So I did a lot of my initial laboring at home, and I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't have the skill set to understand so many things in regards to childbirth that they don't inform you, that the midwives and your doctor probably won't inform you about at your scheduled checkups and appointments. Just things like, what are your rights? What are your human rights in childbirth? Okay. Um, what is hospital policy versus what is law? It's very, very different. Um, my original birthing plan, even though everything with my health and everything with the baby's health was perfect, and I could have achieved my birthing plan no problems. Once I got to the hospital, once I was in that atmosphere, um, we were coerced into certain situations that, had I had the power to stand up for myself, I would not have agreed to at all. Or I would have asked questions such as, are there alternatives? Can we wait a little bit longer? Um, so once you go to the hospital, essentially, you're on their time. They're going to get you to do whatever they want you to do in their time frame, right? So the midwife that I was assigned when I arrived was going to be finishing her shift in an hour. So she essentially said to me, she's going to be leaving in 1 hour, and that's the amount of time that she was giving me to have this baby. Um, my birthing partner had no idea how to hold power for me, how to hold space for me, and be my advocate and be my voice. He may have known some of my birthing wishes, but he was in a panic over how I suddenly started to feel. All of my calm and positivity from at home suddenly left. I was consumed with the fear, the apprehension, everything that I didn't want to happen was happening because I didn't do the work before birth, before labor. I didn't do true, deep, soulful work on fear releasing, releasing the fear that I inherited from my mother and my grandmother around childbirth, releasing deep, deep programming that the Western society has instilled in women and little girls since we're a very young age, just simply by watching the media. And the alternative ways of giving birth aren't yet mainstream when they should be, because they are the safest and the best way to birth for your baby. Um, after my first birth, after having to heal from that traumatic experience, um, I vowed that I would never go through that again, and that I would never want any woman to go through something like that themselves when they have a choice and when they have alternatives and when there is a better way of doing things, and all you have to do is educate yourself, learn the skills and the techniques, and have somebody hold that beautiful sacred space for you to release your fears and to really connect with your mind, body, and baby, and really step into your feminine power, primal feminine power, which is what we have to do as women, not just for childbirth, in every aspect of our lives. Stop letting the media control us and bring us down to a place of fear. Rise above it. We need to, for ourselves and for future generations. Women have been birthing since the beginning of time. Do you think that they would have had all of this fear-based inherited um, bonds and feelings? Probably not. Probably not until more of modern society is starting to form and come together. So for my second, I definitely wanted to have another. um, I spent 2 years of self-healing, self-realizations, stepping into my feminine power, stepping into the belief, the true, deep belief that there is a better way to birth your child. And it wasn't the fact that I didn't want to go back to the hospital, it's that I wanted to arm myself with the knowledge on how to prepare my mind mentally and my spirit uh, to accept what was going to happen and to be there from a place of love, pure love and empowerment, and not fear. Of course, there was a better way. I wanted to have a home water birth, which I achieved, and it was magical and amazing. Not everyone has that choice, and not everyone wants to do that. And it really doesn't matter how or where you wish to birth your child. It's more about having that spiritual and mental and physical fortitude to go into that experience with a positive, happy mindset and empowerment, and just be this radiant, glowing, vitally lit up woman who's going into the most magical time of her life and experiencing childbirth for the first time. That's what I'm here to do. That's what my calling is. I've spent 12 years traveling the world, learning different healing and spiritual techniques in various different cultures throughout the world, in Asia, in Europe, in the Americas, um, learning all of these healing techniques and skills that I should have applied, what I thought I was applying to myself and my own situation for my first birth. And I just I missed so many things, just blindsided. So, yes, that is now my gift to the universe, my gift to the world is to encourage as many women as possible to step into your power, to be a feminine powerhouse. Excuse me for a moment, my little boy's calling. Yes, baby. Thank you. I'm just talking to you, okay? Thank you, Mother. I'll come back. My darling little boy wanted to give me my hair back. Thank you for that. So where was I? Yes. Um, that is my calling. And if you'd like to read more about my birth story, you can head on over to my website, which is linked in the bio, and you can check that out. I've got some beautiful, amazing photographs. There's a gallery there of my home water birth. You can also check out the other offerings on my website. But look, if you feel like if you're a pregnant woman and you have any overwhelm, any apprehension, anything that just feels tight and stuck and you're a little bit fearful about in regards to your pregnancy and your childbirth, just know that you are not alone, and there are so many of us that have experienced something that we wish we hadn't, and that there is a better way, and that you you can come together and you can be held up and you can have people around you who can advocate on your behalf for your wishes. So if this is something that is important to you, you can let's have a chat. Let's have a heart to heart. Reach out to me. Put an emoji in the comments if you'd like me to reach out to you. It can be any emoji you feel drawn to. You can book in a free 30-minute consultation with me where we'll just have a chat. That's all it will be. It will be a chat around how's your pregnancy going, how's your feelings going, what's some of the things that are coming up for you that you feel are a little bit negative or a little bit fearful, and we can just discuss some techniques on how you can work around that. Um, I'll be doing a live every day this week, so you'll be able to catch me again tomorrow, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.